Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility consider others more valuable than yourself, not only looking to your own interests, but also to the interest of others. This is a command and instruction given to the Jesus followers in a town called Philippi by the Apostle Paul. And it is a summary statement of many, many statements throughout the New Testament, urging us, imploring us, and commanding us as Jesus followers to follow the example of Jesus in the area of humility. In humility, having the mindset of a humble person. And we've talked about that over the last few weeks, but let me just review for you that humility is not to think less of yourself. It is not humble to say things like, oh, I'm not smart. Oh, I'm not very good at that. So humility is not thinking less of yourself. Humility is thinking of yourself less. It is to exactly what Philippians says, think of the interests of others, not just your own, and to elevate others above yourself. That means that you're humble. Now, I was reading yesterday an article from Psychological Post, which is a weird magazine for researchers and psychologists to publish their research, their data, their findings, and their conclusions as they do research into humanity. And this article talks about the mental effects, the good benefits of being a humble person. And their conclusion is, after interviewing about 600 college students and about 500 adults, that humble people have a better outlook on life, a more positive outlook on life. They have a greater love of life. They have less anxiety and less depression than people who are not characterized by humility. It always fascinates me when the world of science does a study and it turns out that doing what the scripture says is actually good for you. Now, that was not their goal, obviously, and they don't cite the Bible at all, and they don't quote Philippians 2. They are just researching the effect of humility on our well-being, on our psychological state of mind. And they've discovered humility is one of the keys to just enjoying life. Humility is one of the keys to having less anxiety, less things to worry about in your life. Humility is something that's good for your brain and good for your soul. It's no wonder that Jesus was so good at it. It's no wonder that we are urged to follow that example, to be humble, to think of others before we think of ourselves. So today, if you're struggling to be humble, to add humility to the things in your life, to think of others before you think of yourself. If you're struggling with that, think about how good it is for you. Not only is it good for the people around you, you are actually going to benefit from being humble. Do nothing out of selfish ambition or vain conceit, but in humility. May we follow his example in being humble people. Bye.